Welcome to the 10 must-have add-ons for the Burning Crusade. We're going to start off with the mandatory add-ons I believe you absolutely need for TBC, and then we'll work our way into the more niche and profession-specific add-ons. Before starting things off, I recommend checking out my settings guide. This will cover all of the settings that are on or off by default, and this can help eliminate some of the add-ons I might talk about today. Additionally, if you want to see every single add-on that I currently use, I'll leave a link to that video as well. As always, I will leave timestamps in the description down below, as well as links to each and every add-on I mention in this video. With all that being said, let's jump right into this. Starting off, I would get CurseForge so you can manage all of your add-ons. This makes things a lot easier. Once downloaded, you can add World of Warcraft as a game. Click the 3 dots to scan your computer to locate those add-on folders, and then from there, you click the drop-down box to select whatever version of World of Warcraft you're currently playing. Using something like CurseForge makes things a lot easier. You can click Browse to look over all of the different add-ons, view by popularity and such. Once downloaded, you can see all of your add-ons very nice and neatly, and you can see whatever add-on needs to be updated. Starting in no particular order, we have Deadly Boss Mods, or DBM. Absolutely necessary for any kind of group content, whether that's dungeons, raids, or battlegrounds. This lets you see incoming mechanics and allows you to know when you might need to move out of certain abilities or use a defensive cooldown. Some players also prefer to use LittleWigs and BigWigs, so maybe play around with those two and see which one you like more. Probably the most insane add-on to date has to be WeakAuras. The amount of things you can do with this add-on are pretty much limitless, and it really removes the need for certain add-ons that can do similar things, but WeakAuras can do just a little bit better. Everything from tracking important raid buffs, debuffs, cooldown management, consume reminders, the list just goes on and on. I'll leave a link to my Discord, which contains all the WeakAuras I currently use, and as I get new ones, I'll be sure to update that as well. Next, we have an add-on that has so much functionality, I can probably make an entire video just on this alone, and that's going to be Leatrix Plus. To keep things brief, Leatrix removes the need for a ton of other add-ons, things like auto-selling junk, auto-repairing, turning in quests automatically, auto-accepting summons, reses, auto-releasing in PvP. The list just goes on and on. Enhancing your minimap, enhancing your professions and quest logs to make them a little bit larger and easier to read. And then the most important settings, probably disabling the screen glow, the screen effects, weather density, max camera zoom, muting certain in-game sounds, faster auto loot, showing the vendor price, and then showing flight path times. These are pretty much all the important ones I recommend changing, but if you want to see all of my settings, I will leave those in the description of this video. Alongside Leatrix Plus, also getting Leatrix maps. This allows you to see locations on the map that you've not yet discovered. This will also show you important interest points, like where to go to get to another zone, flight paths, spirit healers, all that good stuff. Next, we have another quintessential add-on, and that's going to be Questie, showing you the quest objectives, where to turn in and pick up certain quests. This one is just a no-brainer and an absolute must-have for when you get into your attunements in TBC. And of course, I have to mention RestedXP. Everyone talks about it, and that's because it does actually work. By no means necessary, but if you want to level up faster, I do have an affiliate link which directly supports my channel. Next up, we have Plater, my go-to nameplate add-on. There are just so many things you can customize and change around here. I don't know how I would play the game without this add-on. Next, we have Attune. This one is going to be absolutely crucial for the many attunements you need to complete in the Burning Crusade. This tracks everything from heroic keys, dungeon keys, raid attunements, and even miscellaneous stuff like the Ogre Law or Netherwing quest hubs. Next, we have a very handy add-on, and that's going to be Atlas Loot. This allows you to see dungeon loot, raid loot, craftable items, factions and reputations, alongside that, PvP and other collectibles. Next, we have ItemRack, which makes swapping equipment very easy with the pop-out menus, the equipment slot buttons, certain gear sets, and automated swaps, all with the click of a button. My favorite feature with ItemRack is the pop-out menus. You can simply hover over the item slot you want to pop out, Alt and left click to then adjust it from there, and then you can swap them down to making a menu, making it much easier to swap out trinkets, boots, or whatever you may want to change. Of course, I had to mention an auction house add-on. Either using TSM or Auctionator are two really great options. I personally use TSM as I've just become very accustomed to it. I like seeing the graph and seeing where my sales, expenses, and of course how much profit I've made. The user interface for this can be quite intimidating, so maybe try Auctionator and figure out which one you like more. And then my favorite feature with TSM is being able to scan the auction house and see how much certain items are going for. As you continue to download add-ons, your minimap will become very cluttered with the add-ons occupying that space. Two nice solutions for this is either HidingBar or MinimapButtonButton. Both of these achieve a similar thing, grouping all of your add-ons that are on your minimap into one specific button. You can also customize this a bit to keep certain add-ons on your minimap so that you can get to them very quickly. For me, that's Atlas Loot, ItemRack, and Leatrix Plus. For my paladins, it's absolutely mandatory that you get PallyPower. Without this add-on, it's a complete nightmare to organize paladin buffs. Pretty simple to use, right-click to open up the menu, click free assignment so that you can customize everyone else's paladin buffs, and then you can scroll through or hit shift scroll to do multiple buffs at once. Next, we have details, a meter allowing you to track damage done, healing, resources, and other important miscellaneous things like interrupts and dispels. Most importantly about this, it has a built-in plugin with Tiny Threat, absolutely necessary if you're going to do any kind of group content. I personally like to use Threat Classic 2, and on-screen are my settings. Next, we have What's Training, a very helpful add-on while you're leveling, allowing you to see what level you unlock new abilities, giving you a good idea on when you should go back to your trainer. More of a personal preference, but I prefer to have a bag add-on that groups all my bags together. I'm currently using Baganator, but you could use Bagnon. However, I have had trouble with it in the past. This is really nice to see all your characters and toggle through them to see what you have in your banks, as well as what's in their inventories. And this also lets you track what's inside of your guild bank as well. Nice. As for the last bit of add-ons, we have the LFG Bulletin board, very customizable to let you see what groups are forming for certain activities. Allows you to customize your bulletin board to filter out what you want to see, whether that's certain dungeons, raids, battlegrounds, or even certain channels. Next, we have GatherMate2 and GatherMate2Data. With GatherMate2Data, you can import the locations of all the different nodes in the game. Head on over to the Import tab, click on whatever you want to track, and then select Burning Crusade, and then click Import. From here, we're going to go to the main GatherMate tab, and just for the sake of this video, I'm going to put all of them on. But you can preference this to only with the profession or only while you're tracking it to make things a little bit less cluttered. Because as you'll see, there's a lot going on here. But this shows you each of the individual locations for all the different nodes and all the different herbs. Super helpful for anyone that has a gathering profession. Next is Nova Instance Tracker. This lets you see your character's rested XP, as well as tracking all of your previous instances from battlegrounds to raids to dungeons. And most importantly, being able to track how close you are to that 5 instance lockout per hour. For the last add-on, we have Character Stats Classic. This allows you to track base stats, melee, ranged, spell, and defensives. By opening up your character panel, you can click the drop-down menu and hover between the various options. From there, you can see important stats like attack power, hit rating, crit chance, and expertise. And that's pretty much it for the add-ons I recommend getting for the Burning Crusade. Like I mentioned earlier, if you want to see all my add-ons and settings I currently use, I'll leave links to those in the description down below. As always, be sure to like and subscribe for more videos just like this one, and I'll see you next time.